Okay, Miss Viola, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. How y'all doing? Seem like I'm moving kind of funny. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, 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 everyone. I don't know. Hey, Miss Viola. Now, is the camera going slow? Do it look like I'm freezing? Cause it look like I'm freezing up. Let's see. So, am I freezing up? Look like I'm going. It looks slow. So I don't know if I should. Hey, Drina, can you hear me though? It looks slow, but are you able to hear what I'm saying? Are you able to hear what I'm saying in a fast, whatever, in the right thing? Okay, so long as you hear me fine. Okay, that's great. Okay, welcome, 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 YouTube. We're gonna do this quick live to get us on to step number 2 on this memorial resin pyramid. Okay, so what we're gonna do tonight, we're gonna take the flowers out, dust them off, and then I'm gonna show you what I do to put the pictures in my mold. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how I build my little carrier. I want to use this one for the next one, so I'm hoping this will work. It's kind of big, but I'm hoping this will work. But the most important thing that we're gonna go over tonight is the different things you need to know about this pyramid mold. I'm not gonna keep you forever because I know you want to get to it. So I'm gonna show you or tell you what I do so we can get to it. I usually pour 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. The layer that is the longest, that takes the longest, is the big clear layer that has the pictures in it. And I have one already poured right now, and I'll show that to you when we get to that portion. But the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take the flowers out. So I put these flowers in the silica crystals. I believe I did this on Monday. It is now Thursday, and if you'll look, the flowers were bright purple. You can look, they're kind of dark, so that tells you that they have dried out. If you'll look at your silica gel, it turns a different color when it finishes drying the flowers. So this particular kind is orange, and when it dries the flower, it turns like a gray color. So I've had some that was blue and turned pink or whatever. Just make sure you know what color it turns, and it'll turn that color around the flowers. Now, for the silica gel, these are non-toxic. These are non-toxic. However, they do suggest you wear glasses. I mean, not glasses. You wear gloves and a mask. I'm not planning on making nothing fly all over the place. Hello, hello. I see you. I see everybody in the comments. They pop up and pop down. So this is a lot different from Facebook. Okay, hello, Miss Alicia. What's going on? So the thing I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna try to move the camera so you'll be able to see. I don't want it behind me. Let me bring it down some. Y'all don't worry about my little area. Okay, so maybe a little bit more. Let me take this down just a little more. Okay, I hope everybody can see that. So I have my roses in this silica gel. And the way you do it is you don't want to tap the flowers. So you still want to be delicate with your flowers, because now flowers are already delicate, but now they are dry. So not only are they delicate, they're kind of fragile too. So I have one right here where I used before, and what I'm going to do is take it, and I was trying to dry out this baby breath because I want to put some baby breath in my roses that I'm doing now. Okay, so what I do is I just kind of take the silica gel off. Now this gel can be reused. All you have to do is put it in the microwave. When it warms up, the brown will go away and it'll turn back on. So this is about my 4th or 5th time using this. Okay. So when you take your flowers out, all I do is just kind of knock them to get the silica out. But you see that? It's completely dry. You hear it? So this is ready for the epoxy. And I think I got about 5 or 6 of them in here. Let me see. You want to be very careful taking them out because you don't want to tear them up. You want to get as much of the silica out as you can. If you have questions, go ahead and ask your questions. Of course, after this, I'll be going into the Facebook group. So if you want to have some more questions after this, I'll be in the Facebook group on and off for the rest of the night because I have a lot of orders to do. So once I take my flowers out, I'm ready to start building my holder for my pictures. That's what I do next. Let me get this out the way before I waste it somewhere. Give me a second. Let me move this. Put this on the other table. Okay, I'm back. I'm put that on the other table because I'm clumsy and I don't want to waste it. Okay, so once you take the flowers out, just go ahead and kind of tap them because you want to get most of that silica, as much of that silica out as you can. You don't want it floating around in your epoxy when you get ready to put it in the pyramid. So you're going to get as much of that silica out as you can. Now, once you get that out, you are ready for building the piece that you're going to put your pictures on. Now, for me, I have been using the Jingle Blocks from the Dollar Tree. I have some right here to show you. So I use my heat gun to put them together. And the way I do mine is using these Jingle Blocks. I'm going to show you how I measured it. I use 4 across, okay? So if you go to your mold, if you go to your mold, you'll kind of see where you want your item to be at. So I want mine about right here. So I'm fixed. What I did was I tried to figure out a way to get my pictures in here, and the way I figured it out, instead of having them floating in there, because you can do that, you can put them in laminating paper and let them float in there, but I was scared they weren't gonna stay upright. So what I did was I used the Jingle Blocks. I'm hitting the thing. So does anybody have any questions? Okay, so Pore, do you answer me? And y'all, I have to keep touching it because I don't have a moderator. If one of y'all want to be a moderator for me, let me know. So my daughter usually is the one that looks at it and asks me the questions. So The deep pour epoxy, that's what I'm going to get into next. When you're doing the mold, the deep pour epoxy is what I use for the middle section where I put my pictures. Deep pour epoxy can be cast up to 4 inches. Okay, up to 4 inches. 4 inches is pretty big. Regular epoxy is up to 2 inches. I really think 1.5 inches because sometimes it looks funny over 2 inches. So regular epoxy is up to 2 inches. What I do is the part where the picture is at, let me show you one. Okay, this is how we'll do it. This is going to make it better. I'm explaining it to you. So, the portion that I have out that I usually pour on the top is this section right here. I don't know why I did that. I did it and I just like it. You don't have to do that. But this portion right here is what I use the deep pour epoxy with. Okay? Because I tried to do the regular epoxy and this is just really small. I tried to do the regular epoxy and do the different layers, do a 2-inch layer, 2-inch layer. But you can actually, besides this being full of bubbles, because I got mad, but besides this being full of bubbles, I have one that's clear. You can see where you do the layers at. So you can see the different layers. So you don't want to use the regular epoxy because you'll have rings on there because you can see the different layers. Now, if you try to pour the whole thing with regular epoxy, it will flash cure. Okay, it will flash cure, which means it'll get really, really hot. Okay, and it'll get hard in about maybe 5 minutes. Ask me why I know, because I did it. So, the first portion I did was this little portion, and it's just a little bit of epoxy because I wanted a color at the top. And if you'll see this, all I did was use a little bit of white alcohol ink, and then I put some green foil, the foil. So I put some green foil in here. You don't have to put a color at the top. This is your pyramid. You can do it any way you want to. That's why I'm not going to tell you to do it this way, do it that way. But I'm telling you what will work in here. So I poured this little pour, and I let that sit overnight until it got hard. And then I poured the portion with the picture in there, okay? So let me put this back. So once I did that, the regular epoxy I use for the color portions at the bottom, like the 3 layers at the bottom, I use regular epoxy because it's cheaper than the deep pour epoxy. So I only use the deep pour epoxy for the middle portion. Now, if you're going to use the Jingle Blocks, all I did was put 4 by 4 by 4. Let me go get that again so I can explain it to you. And for those of you who are seeing this video late or whenever, I will make a full video. Even though I'm doing this on live in 3 or 4 parts so we can do them together, I will make a full video from start to finish. So these layers down here are regular epoxy. I did not use the deep pour epoxy for the I didn't use the deep pour epoxy for the regular layers, but for this layer in the middle where the pictures are at, I did. So if you're looking here, this green portion is the Jingle Blocks. That's the Jingle Blocks. I'm going to put my statue back again. So for the Jingle Blocks, the only thing I did was just glue them together. I just turned on my glue gun so I can show you how to do it. I didn't turn it on ahead of time because this will get hot too quick. So are there any questions while that glue gun warm up? For the portion with the pictures, let me roll back. Hey, Cynthia, let me roll back. Okay, so let me tell you one thing you need to know about the deep pour epoxy. The deep pour epoxy is a 2-to-1 ratio. Regular epoxy is 1-to-1. Deep pour epoxy is 2-to-1 ratio. Now, when you get your epoxy, it'll have measuring cups in it. Well, mine did. It had measuring cups in it, and let's see. Yeah, I got a bigger kind, and it also had measuring cups in it. So for the portion in the middle, the first one I used 375 milliliters. So portion A is 2 parts, and that's the resin. You use 2 parts resin and 1 part hardener. So for the middle portion, for me, I use 375 milliliters. So I use 250 of the resin and then 125 of the hardener. So I put 250 in here first of the resin, which is 2 parts, 125 and 125 is 250. Then I use 125 milliliters of the hardener. So I put it to 250. Then when I put the hardener in, I did it right up in here, and the same thing. When I put it up there, it went to 375. So that's what I use for my middle portion. The first time today, I had to go back and put some more because the top portion, I did it very little. So today I used 425 milliliters instead of 375. But 375, if you use the Jingle Blocks and your flour is not too high out of it, 375 should be good. That's what I used on the green one. I was just gonna say it smelled like some burner, but that's my heat gun. So once I did that, I'm gonna show you how I put this heat gun together, and we'll kind of roll in what needs to be done. If you're gonna pour your big layer, what you want to do, and I'm gonna show you that, you want to be able to watch it, okay? Because when you put something in it, it's gonna float. So I'm gonna show you what I did for mine. After I show you how to do this, these Jingle Blocks, so I'm gonna let the camera down again. I hate my light went out, y'all. I apologize for that. Maybe I need to get a, let me turn the light, see if I can get some more light over here. Okay, so for the Jingle Blocks, I just put 4 together. And all I do, let me see if this is ready. It's ready. So all I do is just put a strip on there and lay them side to side. And I guess you could use E6000 or some of that or whatever. I just found that the hot glue gun it works better for me. And I just kind of lay it down and push them together. So you just let this dry for about 5 minutes. One thing you want to do, you want to make sure when you're putting the glue on there, you don't want it all out of there because you're going to put your picture on the outside, but you do want it sealed really good. I am coming in late, so I will watch in replay. Okay, Miss Eve, I haven't really went over too much yet. So when you put these together, you're going to want to see if you can fit them in your mold. So how I fit mine in my mold, it goes to about right here. Okay? And that's just the bottom of it. So what I do is I build it up. That's exactly where I want it. I'm going to build it up. I kind of put it together how I want it before I start going because I want to make sure. Now you can, if you're going to use the Jingle Blocks, you can close it in or you can leave the sides, these sides open, or you can close it in and that way you can put pictures all around it. Don't sit your glue gun in the glue. Lord have mercy. Okay, so you just gonna, I just kind of put a bead around there, then I stick them on there. Y'all notice I forgot to put it between. Make sure you put it between there before you stick them together, okay? Again, let it set for about 5 minutes and it'll be stuck together. You know, the hot glue works pretty quick. Ooh, this hot glue stink, y'all. I don't like the smell of it. Always make me think something in the house is on fire. So once you get this together, you want to go in there and you want to seal it, okay? Once you get it together, hey Tanisha. Once you get it together, you want to go in there, you want to seal them little cracks. Let me move this light back. It's hot as hell, and god damn, it's hot. Whoo! I'm having my own personal summer up in here. So once you do that, don't glue it to the paper. So you can leave it like this or you can close it in. I left mine like this because I put pictures on the front and the side. So Miss Eve, for you, you're going to put a guitar in there. There's no special way. What you want to do is figure out a way to get in there. Once you put it in here, if you put the pictures, once you put the pictures in here, I put pictures on the side. I actually spray painted mine. One of them I spray painted and one of them I did, I stained one. Everything you do, you're going to put it upside down because remember, the mold is curing upside down. So let me show you how we do this. So if you'll see this, let me go at another angle. Maybe you can see it this way. There we go. My carrier is upside down in my mold. And I have a block of, that's just some, that's just a piece of epoxy I made in one of my molds because I knew I needed something to put on top of my item to keep it from floating. Because if you just put it in there and you don't weight it down, it's gonna float. So what I did was I put it in there, got it in position where I wanted it. Use this piece or anything you find, and I put tape across it just so it can hold it in. Once my, sorry about moving the camera. Once my epoxy starts setting and the little wooden thing will stop floating, then I take that off. I only fill up, and this all I want you to do is fill up to the bottom of this. Don't overflow it, because if you'll look, my little piece is sitting on there, but it's not really in epoxy. A little bit of might have seeped over, but it's not really sitting in the epoxy. So when it sets, when this epoxy sets, I'll be able to take this tape off and just pull this off, flip it off, okay? You want to be able to hold your item in there, okay? So what I want to do with this, I want to use, what I do with the dang on bucket? So I want to use these little buckets from the Dollar Tree for this one. Let me find another one, because I don't know what I did with that one. Oh, here it is. I want to try to use this little bucket. I don't know how I'm going to get the flowers in there since I cut the stem off of them. But I want to kind of use this bucket. So I'm going to kind of figure out how I can put these flowers, these roses around this bucket, because I think this bucket is really cute. So maybe I'm going to put some down in here to do that. Anybody got any questions? So, with the 2-to-1 ratio of the epoxy that I have, that I gave you the link for, says to stir for 3 to 5 minutes clockwise. 3 to 5 minutes clockwise. Y'all, it looks so clear. Look how clear this epoxy is. I don't know if you can see that, but you can kind of see my mom's picture reflecting. That epoxy is very, very clear, okay? So it came out like glass the last time. So I'm hoping to do it this time. I did not use laminating paper on the inside. What I did for this one is I took the laminating paper pouches and put them through my machine, and I just put the laminating paper on the outside and put the paper picture on there. Let me show you. Okay, so once I got it together the way I want it, I took my laminating pouches. I have the business card size. I ran it through the laminating machine without a picture in it. And I actually cut it and put it on the side of my holder. And I use sticker paper for this one. I use sticker paper, the kind that I use for my dominoes that you don't have to seal. So I'm trying to see if that will work in here. It's looking pretty good as I look in there. It don't look like the pictures are running. The picture is still taped or stuck to the laminating paper. So the reason I didn't just stick it to the side of the wood because it wouldn't stick. So I went ahead and I put it on there and I just put the laminating paper. I use ink press. Let me show you. This is the sticker paper I use. You do not have to seal this sticker paper. This is the sticker paper that I use for my dominoes now. I know it's a lot of domino videos that I have out there, but when you learn better, you do better. So this is what I use on my dominoes now. I don't seal my dominoes. I print these, cut them, and stick them on there, and pour the epoxy right on there. And I've never had a problem. I got this Nisi, the one that told me about this. Nisi, the administrator in my Facebook group, the one that told me about that. This sticker paper is brilliant. You don't have to seal it. You don't have to worry about your colors running. It don't come up. You put it in there, put a firm stick. When you put it on there, press it down, make sure it's stuck on there good. Then you don't have to worry about it. So that's what I use now. I use that sticker paper, and that's what I did on there. The first one I used, the one I showed you, the green one, I used copy paper, okay? I used regular copy paper, made the picture, and put it in the laminating pouch, put the pouch through the machine, and I used it that way. This time, I wanted to see if my sticker paper was going to work because I didn't really like the way the laminating paper looked. The copy paper was kind of dull to me. I know this sticker, not sticker paper, I'm sorry. Y'all, that is not sticker paper. That's printable vinyl. It's not sticker paper. It's printable vinyl. So I didn't like the way the picture looked with the regular copy paper that I made because I forgot to heat seal it. Y'all remember if you looked at my video on how to put, what was the name of the video? Somebody, I think, decals on the back of the dominoes. I showed you how to seal them, and one of the steps in sealing them was when you take your paper out of the copy machine, once you've made your picture, is to heat set it, where you take the blow dryer and heat set it. I forgot to do that, so the picture kind of faded to me. So I decided to use the adhesive vinyl, the printable vinyl. So we'll see how that's coming out. So right now, what you have to do is, I got one more layer. I'm going to pour a small layer in here. And then when I get ready to pour, and I've already made a video of me putting this in here, okay? So I made a video of me putting this in here so you will know how to do it. So are there any questions? Because you should be able to pour your layer. If you're not going to do that top little piece, you should be able to pour your clear layer. Again, I caution you, this is not like regular epoxy. This takes a long time to set, okay? By the bottle, it says, I think 48 hours before you're supposed to take it out. Cover and let cure for 48 hours. So you're supposed to cover this and let it cure for 48 hours. Of course, I let it stay like this before I put the next layer on about 12 hours, okay? I did not use a torch. I'm not good with torch, y'all. I got so many torches in here. None of that works for me. I done set epoxy on fire. I done burned up the dang on mold and all kind of stuff. What I use is alcohol. So once I poured it in there and I put my item in there, I use alcohol. Now, if you're good with the torch, then you torch yourself on. I'm not good with the torch. Evidently I don't have a good torch. I just spray alcohol on there. 90% or above. Let me show you the alcohol that I use. I use this 99.9% alcohol, and this stuff works. Okay, so this is a very good alcohol. You know, the higher the number on the alcohol, the less concentration of water. You know, water does not work well with epoxy, so that's why they tell you 90% and above. 99.9 is even better. That's the best alcohol. The only thing about that alcohol, it evaporates really quick. So you can't spray your mold, walk off, and come back and think you're gonna still see it wet, because it evaporates just like that. But it's still working. What else should we do? I will tell you that when you're doing something and you're gluing it into your item you're using, the hot glue, I let my hot glue show. A lot of people don't let it show. I let it show because to me it look like snow. So what I do is I go back, because you want to seal this off. I go back and I kind of go back around the little corners and make sure I seal it. Okay, so I go back in and I seal all the little lines. And you don't have to do that. I just don't want... The reason you want to do that is because you don't want the epoxy to go through there, because the more it seeps through them holes, the more chances of air bubbles, okay? Because it's trying to go through them little holes, so it's going through, popping up air bubbles. If you seal it off, the epoxy can't go through there. It have to actually go around, so it's not trying to escape through there, so it's less chance of air bubbles. You want to make sure... I need to put another stick of glue in there. You want to make sure you seal where I sealed all my holes. You might not care about the air bubbles. I do. I don't like them. So I go back and I'll seal all my holes just to make sure I don't have nowhere for the epoxy to escape, because again, more air bubbles. If you seal it, it just goes around and you don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to seal these down, because that one I forgot to do. And be careful with your heat gun. I don't have fingerprints anymore. I burn my hand all the time. I always tell my daughter, shoot, I can go and rob something. They ain't going to catch me because I ain't got no fingerprints. So be careful when you're doing the heat gun. This is what I wanted to do for part 2, because part 3 is I'm going to actually show you pouring. I'm going to put the video up tonight of this one where I poured that one. I'm going to put that video up for you so you can look at it. But I want to be able, I need to do this on Zoom. I would love to be in the room with y'all so I can be able to talk to y'all. I can't even see messages now. That's why I keep stepping up to the camera to make sure. I'm going to put a raw video. It won't be an edited video. It might be a little cursing in there too, but I'm going to put a raw video up and show you me putting this together. Of course, I waste a couple of things while I was doing it, so it's a little bit of cursing in there. But it'll show you how to get this item in there. And then when we do part 3 tomorrow, I have an exam in the morning. I have my final in the morning at 9:30. It was supposed to be today, but I have a final tomorrow at 9:30. So about 1 or 2 in the afternoon after the final, after I come home and cry, if I don't pass, which I probably won't, after I come home and cry and get myself together, we'll go ahead and we'll pour this one. And you will see me pour it. The reason I'm not pouring it now is because I want the little part at the top. So I'll show you that, and we'll pour the other one tomorrow. And this one should be ready to do another layer when I wake up in the morning. What I'm gonna do now is start just putting the videos up, because this is a lot of parts, okay? A lot of working parts, and some of them, like, when I put the lights down, I only wait like 2 hours before I do the next layer. So I'll put the lights down, cover it, wait 2 hours, do the next layer, wait 2 hours, because it's the regular epoxy. And I use, this is the epoxy I use now. It doesn't take that long to set, okay? So I did some dominoes. About, I want to say I poured them about 5:30. These things I already set, okay? So this epoxy don't take long. The marine epoxy, not the deep pour. The marine epoxy don't take long. So when we get to the bottom portion, that'll be like 2 hours per layer. Then the final layer, you just let it stay until it sets all the way. But after about 2 hours on the marine epoxy, it's hard enough to go to your next layer. It's hard enough to go to your next layer. Actually, them dominoes I could pop out now if I want to. And it's been about a little bit, maybe about 3 hours. It's pretty warm in my garage. I had the heat on today because I was cold because of all the rain. But are there any questions? Let me know if you're still here. Let me know if you got questions. Let me know if you have any questions. Hey, Shamira, let me know if you have any questions. So today, we took the flowers out, bumped them out. Make sure you bump them out. Make sure your flowers are all the way dry. So that's was a thing. A lot of people, flowers aren't dry. That's why I'm not going to pour, because I talked to some people yesterday. I love that. I talked to some people yesterday and their flowers weren't dry. So that's why I didn't pour this layer, because I want you all to see me pour the layer. But I want everybody to be able to do it with me. What I'll do tomorrow is I'll try to download. I have to download another app now in order to do the Zoom on YouTube. Something happened. I can't do it on YouTube without this other add-in. So I'm going to download that, and maybe I'll just put out the Zoom link for the final one. That's what I do. I put out a Zoom link for the final one. We have maybe 2 or 3 more little lives. Well, not lives, 2 or 3 more videos where I'm going to show you step by step finishing this, okay? And then the last one, we'll have a live with a Zoom where y'all can come in and we'll be able to talk to each other. I don't have that many people on there, so you can do up to 100 people on Zoom, or it's usually about 10 people at the most on these lives, because I'm not very regular with them. Y'all, I'm in school, so I had started being regular with the videos, had to roll back because I'm in school. Are there any questions? Any questions at all on this that we've got so far? So far, we have bought all our equipment, okay, all our materials. We have did the drying out of the flowers. We have made our item to put our pictures on. So what you're going to do is you're going to spray paint this if you want to spray paint it, or if you want it stained, you can stain. Or hell, you can leave it like this if you're using this. I want to use this, and this comes from Dollar Tree also. This is over by the wedding section in the Dollar Tree. I have so many of these at home, so I'm going to try to use this, and I'm going to put the picture around there, but you'll see that tomorrow when we go to Pore, okay? You'll see me pour. Okay, tomorrow, this is what we're going to do. Hold on. Let me get the camera. So tomorrow, we're going to do this portion in this in this empty one. And for this one, we're going to lay the lights and do the next 2 layers. This one, we're going to be doing this layer. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Any questions? I just almost failed. Any questions? Okay, y'all, let me know how we did. How we doing? Do we need any more? So let me show you what else we working on, where I'm working on. It's hot over in that corner with that light. Y'all, I've been doing some acrylic pouring. I don't know what I'm doing, but y'all look at that. So I'm trying to learn how to do the acrylic pouring. And that's a set for somebody. I hope that go together. Y'all don't say nothing about my little area. Y'all see I got paint everywhere. I tried to do the one with the blow dry. That do not work for me. I got paint. Y'all see paint everywhere. So I don't know if I'm be able to teach y'all. I don't know if I'm be able to teach y'all the acrylic pouring, cause even though it's so pretty, I have no idea where the colors be going. I mean, I don't know what it's gonna look like. I have no idea. I finally got the consistency right of the pouring. I finally got that, but I have no idea what happens to the ink. Like this one, I used the straw to do it, and it's very pretty. But can I do it again? No. Do I know what I did? Hell no. I don't. Okay, we're going to close it up. Any more questions? Let me know if you have any questions. Let me open up the messages. So Eve said earlier that she used the deep pour for the layer with the roses and pictures, and she used the regular for, yeah, that's what I said. You only use, well, you could use it for all of it, but I only use the deep pour for this portion right here. For the pictures and the roses, this is the only portion that I use the deep pour for. These colors down here and this up here, that's just regular epoxy. Can I see your posting? I think they can see your posting. Okay, I got you, Miss C. Did they answer your questions for the deep pour? I'm sorry. I don't have a moderator because my daughter at work, so I don't have nobody to read the question. So the deep pour epoxy, again, is what you use for this portion. If you have a portion at the top, Miss E, that's just regular epoxy because it's only about that high. You don't have to have that, but I like it, you know, the little colors. The deep pour epoxy is this section right here in the middle. Did that answer, Miss E? And again, deep pour is 2 to 1. 2 to 1. So 2 portions of resin, 1 portion of hardener is the deep pour epoxy. They come with measuring cups. Make it something even, okay? Just make it something even just to help yourself. For me, for this portion right here, like I told the people earlier, from here to here is 375 milliliters. 375 milliliters, okay? So I use 250 of the epoxy resin and 125 of the hardener. Miss V, I think it's gonna be what do you think? Let's say 2. Because I got an exam at 9:30 in the morning. Again, I'm going to have to come home and cry if I don't do too good. I'm going to say 2 p.m. and we're going to do the, make sure you have your little cone now. We're not going to pour that. What you need to do tonight is get your item ready. The item that you're going to put your pictures on. If you have any questions, I'm going to be up for another 3, 4, 5 hours because I'm going to start studying and I'm doing a lot of pouring. So if you have questions, go in the Facebook group, okay, and tag me in there, okay? If you tag me and I don't answer within about 30 or 40 minutes, then inbox me. But go to the group and tag me if you have any questions. So tonight, you're supposed to be finished with, when we start tomorrow, you should have your flower and your carrier complete, okay? That should be complete. If you have any questions, make sure you contact me. I'm going to be around in the group, and some of you all have my phone number, so just text me or whatever. Have this portion done if you're going to do this portion. If you're doing all clear, then you're fine. But if you're not doing all clear, go ahead and have your color portion ready. Make sure you have something to hold your stuff down because you're going to put this, let me grab it so I can explain it to you. This is going to be put upside down. So say this is what you had. You have your flowers in here. Then you have a picture on this side, a picture on that side. It's going to be put upside down in there. Remember, the pyramid is being made upside down. So it's going to be put upside down. You're going to need something to hold this down because if you don't have anything to hold it down, when you put the epoxy on, it's going to rise up and flip over. So you're going to have something to hold that down. That little piece I made, that's just something I made out of one of my molds. You don't have to do nothing special. You can use a salt shaker. Because what we're going to do, and what I'm going to have you do, when you put this in there, you're going to pour to the bottom of it. You're not going to pour over it. So whatever you put up there to hold it down, you're going to tape over the whole mold. Whatever you put over there won't have no epoxy on it. And if you have epoxy, just be a tiny little bit that you can pop off and then peel off, okay? So that little thing that I have up there, I done used it a couple of times. So remember, you're going to put this in, have the flowers in there, it's going to go upside down, okay? So if you have any questions about completing that portion, this portion right here, this is your homework. You got to be ready. Your middle portion needs to be ready tomorrow because that's what we're going to start. We're going to put it in and pour the epoxy. If you have any questions on this portion, let me know. Again, I use the Jingle Blocks from the Dollar Tree. You can use anything. Whatever you use, if you don't know how to get it in there, just let me know and we'll figure it out together. So when I come on tomorrow, we'll be ready and I'll be ready to tell you. So if you don't have the Jingle Blocks and you're going to use something else, let me know what it is so we can figure out how to use it because tomorrow we're going to be popping. We're going to start at 2 o'clock. We're going to pour the epoxy, the deep pour epoxy, okay? We're going to pour the deep pour epoxy and it takes about, if we do that at 2, about 10 o'clock at night, we probably can pop that little thing off and start with the second layers. But I'm timing it now so I can tell you exactly how long or the about time it takes for it to get solid enough for you to take off that piece that's holding it down and for you to start doing your next layer, which would be the layer with the lights. The lights come next. After that portion, with the deep pour is the lights because you're going to put the lights, then you're going to cover them with whatever, just a little bit. I use a little white because it looked like little foam on the water. But the lights will be the next section. So make sure you have your picture holder and your art. If you have trouble with your art and you can't figure out how to do your art, you can't figure out how to size it, if you have any questions like that, if you're not in my Facebook group, go ahead and drop your questions below this video. And when I get up tomorrow, when I come back from my test, after I cry, Okay, I'll look and make sure I answer all the questions on YouTube. I'll make sure I answer all the questions. But if you need some immediate help, I ain't gonna say immediate, but if you need some help tonight, go ahead and put it in my Facebook group, Cricut Crafting ... the beginning and beyond, and I'll try my best to answer it because I'll be up for the foreseeable future. Probably be up till I go to my exam in the morning. So, thank you, Shamira. I hope I pass. Well, I am gonna pass. I'm gonna pass it. She just told bam. She already said that, baby. So, listen, here's the bad thing about this school. This is fall term, y'all. School ends Saturday is the last day of this term. The new term starts Sunday. So I don't have no break. So I want to go ahead and get this in. I'll see you all tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Remember, I'll probably go over to the Facebook group and ask some questions. I'm finna go in the Facebook group now and show my vase, cause that's Nisa thing. And even though mine don't look good as hers, it looked pretty good for my first time. So I'll see you all. Thank you. I hope I help you out. Again, we are doing this together. That's why I'm not going forward. I want everybody to go together because I want all of us to open up our thing at the same time. So that's why I'm taking it slow and doing it like this. If it's too slow for you, just ask me the question of what you need for the next step, and I don't mind telling you. But on this live, I'm going to go step by step. Thank you, Miss E. Talk loud, okay? Make sure you talk loud so he can hear. Okay, y'all, have a good one. I hope, again, let me reiterate. Tomorrow, we're going to do this portion, okay? So have your thing that you're going to put your pictures in and have that together, okay? And I will do the pouring of that, and then for those of you who already went forward, that's not going to pour with me, that you already poured, I have that one that's right there, that's already poured. I'll show you the section on that too. So if you're a little bit ahead, I'm going to be doing 2 of them at one time. So you won't have to wait on me, okay? That's why I started one before we started this live. Y'all have a good one. I'm getting ready to get off. I'm going to go and do a TikTok. I got a TikTok to do, y'all. My new TikTok is over 700 people. So I got to go and do my dance for, hey, I got 700 people. Y'all, it's hard as heck to get my people back up. I had 12,000. Now I only got 700. So y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 2 on live in the group later on tonight. Y'all have a good one. I'll see you. Any more questions before I log off? Y'all know I'll never know how to get off of here, but they'll never show you how to get off. Any more questions? All right. Bye-bye, y'all.